Hey there, welcome to a Healthy Conversation and welcome into the Crutch Kitchen, which is kind of fun to say.
Very festive.
Welcome to the Crutch Kitchen. Sounds very festive. And it's sunny outside and I feel good because I've gotten a lot of rest. And when the question was posed to me this morning,
did you sleep last night?
which he always asks, I was like, yes! I've slept now several nights in a row.
2 for sure.
I know, and you know, one of the keys could very well be that whole leaving the window open to the point where I'm kind of having the covers over me, and it's good. Like I'm finding
Plenty
myself.
of fresh air, dense air.
It's awesome. So that whole oxygenation thing that we need to go on is going on. So just listen as a reminder, because we're pulling you into our conversation already, and we probably should do a little review. A few weeks ago, we shared how a nurse's health study proved that sleep deprivation could be why you're not able to lose weight. It actually can be why you're gaining weight. So sleep deprivation means if you can't get to sleep, if you wake up and stay awake for a long period of time, or if you just keep waking up multiple times at night, any of those can be considered sleep deprivation. And 15% of the people in that study actually ended up obese. 30% of the people in the nurse's health study ended up gaining 30 pounds over like the 10-year or 15-year
Right.
period. Okay, that's a lot of weight, 30 pounds.
Sure it is.
Just because of sleep deprivation. Because remember, with a study, the only thing that's changed is the thing that's being studied. So now, a couple weeks ago, we talked about how to relax, things like opening that window, what to do in the room at night, right?
Turning off the TV.
Yeah, turning off the TV, the laptop, the iPad, dimming the lights, the hot bath you talked about. So you want to learn how to capture relaxation, if you will, because that's going to help you sleep. Then last week we talked about positive self-talk and positive attitude and building belief and many other things you can do to just feel good about who you are, because that helps you sleep. This week we're going to talk about food, what to eat, what not to eat, because what you put into your body, food and nutrition, totally have to do with whether or not you get sleep. And remember, you want to get good restful sleep so your mind is clear, so your stress level's down, so you're able to function and feel really good. But this is going to be totally tied into your weight loss. So today we're talking about food and nutrition. And you have a story that you tell over and over again about probably, I think, the best food for helping somebody sleep.
As I said many times, my grandparents were from Austria, and they brought a lot of the old things over from the old country. They were born over there. And I always remember going over to their house as a little boy, and they would always cook up a nice big glass of warm milk before they went to bed.
Put it on the stove like
The
we
stove.
do when we make hot chocolate
Exactly.
with real cocoa.
Only
So
they
they
would-
put real milk.
They would do that. They would heat the milk up and then drink that big warm glass of milk. And I never really understood why they did. I thought it was just a tradition. But here, it has a lot of calcium, has a lot of magnesium in it. Now, milk used to. This is about 60 years ago.
Right.
Not so much now.
Right.
So a lot of times if you put a little bit of extra calcium, magnesium with the milk, it also helps. So, I mean, they used to sleep like babies. I was always amazed. And they were probably in their 70s when we were talking about that.
So there really is truth to that whole have a glass of warm milk before you go to bed. Now, if you're not a milk drinker and they don't want to have a glass of warm milk, some time ago with my husband's help, I came up with a concoction. We actually call it the concoction. And if I've not slept well or I'm anticipating not sleeping well, he'll say, make sure you take the concoction tonight.
Take the stuff, yeah.
Take the stuff. So the concoction, if you're having trouble sleeping, this is absolutely going to help. Now, John talked about magnesium. You can just take a magnesium, and if they're going to take a magnesium, how much should they take?
About 200 to 300 milligrams before you go to bed at night.
Okay.
It's a nice amount.
You can take a calcium with magnesium.
Magnesium.
And actually in my concoction, I didn't take magnesium. You had me taking
Calcium,
2
magnesium.
of, how many units are in this one?
You were probably getting about 200-300 milligrams of calcium and about half that much of magnesium.
Okay, so I would take 2 of those. And then Relora, you've heard us talk about Relora before. I would take 1 to 2 of those, depending upon how much I needed to sleep. And again, melatonin, typically 1, but
About 3 milligrams of
but could be
melatonin.
2. So to me, this is the secret ingredient. This is the secret concoction. Now, what I think might be the secret ingredient, because when I travel, I've taken these supplements with me, but I haven't always had the tea. Now, again, there's no magic potion here. This is a Celestial Seasonings. It's called Sleepy Time. And it looks like the one we bought most recently is called Sleepy Time Extra. And it's Sleepy Time tea. When you take these 3 supplements and have a cup of this tea before going to sleep, I promise you, you almost can feel your body just starting to relax. Now, just a few tips about what not to eat. We all know caffeine. Don't have caffeine like within 4 hours of going to sleep. There's a little misnomer out there about alcohol. People think, you know, the old adage of having a nightcap, right? It calms you, it relaxes you. Here's the thing. When you put alcohol into your system, it calms you right away, but your body processes alcohol very quickly. So then it will trigger your brain to wake up.
A couple hours later.
So that norepinephrine is gonna trigger in your brain, and you're just gonna wake up like this. So even if you're gonna have a cocktail or a glass of wine, it's best to do it several hours before you go to sleep.
The alcohol out of your
Yep.
system.
And digestive disorders. Bacon doesn't digest too well. Cheese doesn't digest too well. Watch the sugar, because that'll spike your insulin. Those are just a few
I think
things.
a little bit of protein. I mean, you don't want to eat a big steak before you go to bed at
But
night.
having some
because-
protein before you go to sleep, that's true, because especially tryptophan, if somebody had like turkey or some things with tryptophan in it. So really, the foods you eat have everything to do with whether or not you sleep. So eat the right foods, stay away from the wrong foods, use the concoction if you need to, and you know, wake up to a morning like this.
Morning sunshine.
Right?
Good for
Morning
your soul.
sunshine gets the body going, gets the temperature up, so that at night when the temperature needs to drop, so that you need to get sleep, you can do that. And that's what we'll talk about next week. How the right exercise at the right time will actually help you sleep better. Exercise, that's something you and I have in
Yeah.
common.
Yes.
Yeah, for a few years now.
More than a few.
Yeah, like, 25. See you next week.